Hello everyone, Something.2, welcome to another Modpack review, this time on Chemical Reaction, a modpack that simply has a focus on chemical experiments and exploration. It is still in development though, obviously, so pretty much expect bugs. And you've got obviously a mix of some text, some world gen, and other bits and pieces. And also certainly your typical mods like Refined Storage, Project E, Mechanism, and Rhymes Plenty and more. So, first up we have almost all of ores, which adds in a ton of different ores. So you've got sulfur, you've got phosphorite, lignite, bituminous, a bunch of other coals and graphite and such there, I think. Some of those are. And a bunch of other different types as well. Agate, so a few gems, and other such materials. Other than that, nether ores as well, and a few other bits and pieces. There's also an ore refiner. Salt, and a few other bits and pieces, and obviously what you get from many of these ores, which is just pretty much, I assume, a few different types of gems. Other than that, you've got other bits and pieces that I assume mixes with alchemistry or such. You've got obviously ChemLab, which adds a bunch of different elements you can either mix between certain things, like so. And you've got different ingots as well. And you've got sort of combinations of things like copper and chloride, calcium and so on, oxides, sulfides, acids, and bits and pieces. And you've got different lamps as well. We've got Curious API, which adds in obviously the slot on the side here, as well as obviously a few of these things like a ring and so on, which is mostly just, I think, template sort of stuff. But obviously I think the mod pack has more as well included that will take advantage of this. You've got Engineer's Decor, which adds in things like an incinerator, furnace, milking machine, a bunch of valves, and a few other things, as well as decoration elements like signs and pole supports and bits and pieces. You've got gauges and switches, which adds in different levers and sensors and detectors and gauges and indicators and a bunch of other bits and pieces like that, as well as buttons. Otherwise, you've got Gravestone, which adds in a gravestone, which will obviously be helpful in that when you are harmed by mobs and then want your stuff to be kept there. You've got Guard Villages, that adds a bit more to villages with different mobs, besides just the Iron Golem. You've got Iron Chests for different storage options, as well as upgrades to chests. You've got Iron Furnaces for upgrading furnaces and having more produced at certain. You're getting more produced, as well as the rate is increased of many types, and I don't know if there's like a double or something, besides the blast resistance and transparency effects. Got netherite option, metal ones and so on, wireless heat transmitter, a few other upgrades and such. You've got shulker boxes and barrels that also have upgrades there. You've got ores above diamond, which adds in black opal and amethyst tools and armor, as well as obviously nether and end versions. You've got Quarry Plus, or I'm trying to remember what the other name is. It's what was it? I've actually got it up. Additional Enchanted Miner, which adds in different things like a quarry, mining well, markers, enchanting tower, or enchantment mover, sorry, workbench, different pipes and other bits and pieces, spawner controller, chunk destroyer, and so on. Places and things, along with lists and other things like templates, modules, and so on. And pick. We've got Rings of Ascension, which adds in different types of rings with different effects and different tiers and abilities. So you've got different potion effects, you've got certain others here and there that add different possibilities like flight, magnetization, experience, water walking, and so on. You've got storage drawers that adds in another storage type method with different upgrades. You've got also the ability to lock them. You can have multiple different stacks in certain slots, so you can have, say, cobble on one side and dirt on the other. Otherwise, you've got different woods, you've got a controller and a few other things. You've got Ultimate Car Mod, which adds in things like asphalt, as well as oil mills, blast furnace for the different components, and you've got different car parts, such as the body, you've got a container, wheels, containers there, bumpers, tanks, and then you've got different fluids and such things there. And I'm pretty sure that's about it for content. Otherwise, you've just got other certain things like Elytra for Elytra certain aspects, World Handler, Mine menu for accessing stuff, I think, via a radial menu, Leaf Decay, Experience Ore, Minimap, book for certain aspects and to read into what certain mods can do, light level sort of display elements showing that what actual light level it is compared to just going F3 and going, okay, I'm in such and such, then obviously displays it in the world or so. And other than that, that's pretty much it, as well as like I guess bauble or courier for a totem of undying, villages with names and other things. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.